Hello fellow explorers, I am the Walking Warrior. Welcome to the channel. Today I am in Chatham, part of the Medway towns. I am up on the main road that leads down to the lovely old Chatham docks and the Medway tunnel. And as you can see over there, that is Rochester and a little bit of Chatham town. And that is the River Medway. So it's got a really nice view from up here. Just look at all them really old buildings. There really is a lot of old history down there just waiting to be explored. So yeah, that view is a really good view. I look at that and just see so much history just waiting there for me to go and seek it out. There's some nice old boats down there on the river, and the river is calm as calm today. So yeah, that really is an absolutely lovely view. But we're not here to look at that. We're here to look at something, in my opinion, that is better than that. And that is a big, magnificent gun. So on any other day, I'd sit quite happily looking at that view for hours. But not today, because I have something much more special to show you. So nice as that view is, it's not as nice as this big gun that is just over here. Because this big gun is magnificent, and I do love a big gun. And there she is. Just look at that magnificent beast. Oh, first things first, let's say hello to the lovely Vickers gun. Hello Vickers, thank you for saving our country during World War II, mate. Well done, you done really well shooting down all them horrible planes that was trying to bomb our lovely country and destroy all our lovely heritage and history. So well done, Vickers, you took enough of them planes out, mate, thank you. So this big gun, this is a Vickers 3.7 anti-aircraft gun. A real beast of a gun, an absolute legend of the Second World War. Loads of these was made, loads of these was used. They shot down enough of them horrible planes coming over here trying to bomb us. If you was one of them bomber pilots coming over here, you feared this gun. I bet you had nightmares about this gun, because of all the anti-aircraft guns that was about at the time. This was one of the best, and this took out the more planes than any of the others, because this gun was scattered everywhere across the UK. So if you wanted to come over here and bomb us, you had to dodge these guns, because they was firing at you from everywhere. And because this gun was so successful and it was such a good gun and it was really reliable, they couldn't get enough of these guns. So by the sort of middle of the war, these guns was being made here in the UK, they was being made in Australia, and also they was being made in Canada and being shipped all over the world to the troops to use to shoot down planes, take out tanks, basically do whatever they wanted to do with it. Although this Vickers was primarily an anti-aircraft gun, it could be used in any situation because it was very, very powerful. So this Vickers 3.7 anti-aircraft gun, it first came into use in 1938. And in 1938, this was the most advanced gun to ever grace the battlefield. Germany had a similar version to this gun. It was called the Flak 8.8. And the Americans had one called the 90mm anti-aircraft gun. The German version was considered the best to use on the battlefield because it was light and more manoeuvrable. But this Vickers had more power. This Vickers could fire a 28-pound shell 32,000 feet in 50 seconds. And the German and the American versions just couldn't match that. This Vickers was just too powerful. And it just shows how good it was, because this gun remained in service in the British Army until 1957, and it was only replaced when they started getting the guided missiles and missile systems in place. So this gun, although it was made in 1938, it kept going till 1957 and saw a hell of a lot of action all round the world, this Vickers did. So like I said, it fired a 28-pound shell. But in the early part of the Second World War, it was fitted with a timer that wasn't really that good. So it could only be set up to 30 seconds to detonate, and they tried a few more different timers and a few different ways of doing it, but then eventually they came up with the Mark III shell, which had a timer that could be set up to 50 seconds, and that made this gun much more deadly. So that was the shell that got mass produced for this gun. They also made two variants of this gun. The one we have here, which is the one that is designed to go on a concrete base. And they also made another one that was on like a trailer. It had wheels that you could fold up and then sit it on the floor, so you could, if you wanted to move it, you could quickly jack it up, put the wheels back out and tow it to another location. But this one that was designed to go on the concrete base, because it took so long to build a concrete base and for it to dry and bolt the gun to and all that, the troops, when they needed these guns fast, they found that they could make a base out of railway sleepers. And alright, the gun lost a tiny bit of accuracy being mounted on railway sleepers, but it made it so much faster to get the gun working. So this gun was better working than just sitting there waiting for someone to build you a concrete base. And plus, if you had the base made out of sleepers, if you suddenly thought we need to move this gun, whereas a concrete base, you can't move it, you have to build another one. The gun with the sleeper base could be packed up, transported somewhere else, and quickly put into action with its deadly fire of that 28-pound shell. So this gun was a high-velocity anti-aircraft gun, and it was really effective at shooting down planes. But like I said, it could also be used to take out tanks. It did work on tanks. It was very effective against anything you fired it at. But when it was fired at a low down position, the troops found out that the carriage, it couldn't really handle it. So although they did use this gun against tanks, if it's all you had, of course you pulled out this Vickers and it would defend you against oncoming tanks. But there was much better guns built for that purpose. This Vickers was built to fire up in the air at planes. So when that barrel was low down firing along the ground, it wasn't built for that, and it sort of hurt the gun. If you used the gun like that too much, it would wear out and you'd need to repair it. So it wasn't really designed to fire along the ground, but in an emergency it was a highly effective weapon to pull out and shoot the enemy tanks. And of course, if you've got tanks coming at you, firing at you, and all you've got is this Vickers, you're gonna lower that barrel and fire it at them tanks. If it's all you had, you will fire now and repair later. So that's what was done in a lot of circumstances. And this Vickers, with all its power, it was more than capable of taking out a tank. And it did come into its own, this gun. Getting near the end of the war, when the Germans developed that V2 flying bomb and was sending them over, this Vickers was highly effective at taking them out. So this was the gun that was used to take out them flying V2 bombs. And also around Chatham, loads of these guns was put in placements all round Medway, basically, to protect the docks at all cost. Because when them planes come over from Germany, the Chatham docks was very high up on their list of things to destroy. So these Vickers guns was scattered all around Medway to defend the docks, and they defended it well. And these Vickers, basically, they had a 7-man crew or an 8-man crew or sometimes even a 10-man crew looking after these guns. So them men and one of these Vickers was a very, very deadly, effective fighting machine. And when you think these Vickers would have normally been in battalions, so you would have had 8 of these guns with all the men. So you had 8 guns and a load of men. That would have been a really deadly fighting force. But sometimes you had 3 battalions together. So you had 24 of these Vickers all firing. And you would not want to go against 24 of these things firing at you. That would have been a force to be reckoned with. And as you can see, this one is pointing right at that church over the road. I do hope it doesn't go off, because I like that church. It's a very nice church. And this Vickers is more than capable of destroying that church with one precisely placed shot of its 28-pound shell. People did also experiment with turning this Vickers gun into a tank gun, mounting it in a tank. And although some people done it and was successful with it, that tank with this gun never actually got put into production. And that's a shame, because that would have been a really fantastic thing, a tank with this Vickers gun on it. Oh, and I think if they had actually made it, I might have saved up and got hold of one of them just to drive about in and do a little bit of shopping at the weekend. And to tell you the truth, I would love this one. This Vickers gun I'm looking at right now. Oh, I'd love that in my back garden. That would be magnificent, sitting out in the middle of the lawn. I'd go out there and eat my breakfast on it and drink a coffee every day with the Vickers 3.7. So that's about it on the Vickers. All that's left for me to do is say goodbye. Bye-bye, Vickers. I shall see you again. Now you are a star on the Walking Warrior channel. And I wish I wasn't saying goodbye. I wish I was taking you home with me. But you are very heavy to carry, and I have got no side access, so you would be really hard to get through the front door and through my hallway to my back garden. So I think I will have to leave you here. But thank you for defending our great little country and keeping our shores safe from all them horrible planes. So thank you, because you have served your country well, and you are a true legendary British gun. So thank you, Vickers, and I give you a full-blown Walking Warrior salute for your service to the lovely people of England. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you're into things like these guns and old monuments and stuff. I'm going to hunt them down and find a lot of these. So if you're like me and really into stuff like this, please click the button and then you can join me in the next one. I am the Walking Warrior, and now I am off to find something else. So let's go and explore.